In today's video, we're going to be covering all the bullish momentum we got in the crypto network as a whole, such as BNB Chain and Cake exploding, and all of the recent news surrounding Bitcoin, and why altcoin season rally and Banana Zone Phase 2 is still in play. So stay tuned.
Bitcoin is booming. Are you cashing in or missing out? At Drip2 BTC, we're rewriting the rules of Bitcoin investing. Earn up to 30% ROI on your deposits, unlock incredible Bitcoin discounts, and transform credit into up to 3,000% APR growth. No hassle, just real results. Don't wait, your future is one deposit away. Drip2BTC.com. Invest smart today.
Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. You guys know that I follow Raoul Pal, and he's coined the banana zone for the blow-off tops in the previous cycles, as well as what's to come in this cycle. And currently, he says we are here, and we have had these same phases previously, which, yeah, feels like it makes sense, and I'm on board with that narrative. So we have yet to see phase 2 come into play. And that's where a lot of these different articles I'm going to show kind of feel like it's moving in that direction. So one thing, BNB Chain is by far not dead. They are still build, and they are still number one globally as the centralized exchange preferred by the rest of the world, at least in terms of volume and users. And here they have their 7-day DEX volume by chain. I don't know why it says DEX volume, since, yeah, I guess that kind of goes hand in. So it just depends on if you're looking at Binance or the chain itself. So yeah, BNB Chain leads all networks in DEX volume this week, maintaining its position as the top choice for all chain trading. So it's outstripped ETH by about 50%, and then everything else falls by the wayside. Solana, as the meme token chain, has definitely fallen off its lead. So when there's nothing else there besides meme coins, and it's like there's nothing else on Solana to keep people there, so they go on to the other exchanges and chains for, farming, staking, and other trading activities. And then even this shows BNB based Cake token. So the PancakeSwap is the number one DEX on BNB Chain, and Cake has more DEX volume than Uniswap, Radium, Hyperliquid, and Pump.Fund combined over 24 hours. That is crazy. Cake's still not doing significant returns. It feels like it's been in this $2 range for quite some time. Let's go with 1 year. So we got up to $4. Yeah, but the high was 40 in the last cycle. So I don't know if that means there's still a 20x left in the Cake token, but there is a lot of development they put in the whole PancakeSwap Cake ecosystem. So I would not be surprised if it does, a couple of X's. I don't think this amount of hype is in there from like the last cycle with DEXs like that, but I'm still basically bullish on the BNB chain. I know it's not decentralized. It is definitely a centralized chain, but they've just got a lot of support, momentum, validation over the years. So I'm just like, yeah, why not? I still farm on PancakeSwap. Now this just came in. Government lifts tornado cash sanctions. That is crazy bullish in my opinion, because the previous administration was the one that actually put the sanctions in place and labeled a code or script or whatever you want to call tornado cash, a website, being sanctioned so that you could not use it. And as of this article, or the 21st, the U.S. Treasury Department announced they are removing tornado cash sanctions and the subsequent ban in a press release. The crypto mixing tool was sanctioned and unavailable for use by any U.S. person or individual doing business with the U.S. That has changed now. So that brings anonymity back into the crypto space. That is bullish in my opinion. So that ties in as well with the other regulations about meme coins not being securities. So basically looking at code as just that. It's just a contract or a database or whatever. And it's like you can't put legislation or regulations on those kinds of things if they are truly decentralized. So I forgot the guy's name that made Tornado Cash, but he was arrested and serving time because of that. That's just ridiculous, for putting something out there that is open source technology and then being persecuted for it. And because other people using it for nefarious activities. That's like, arresting the person that made a knife because other people were using it instead of to cut their meat to stab people. Like, that's just ridiculous. So to me, this is all moving in the right direction in regards to positive momentum for the entire crypto space. And this is not crypto related specifically, but it ties into another video I was watching about Trump and the gold card that he has. That's $5 million to invest in the US for citizenship and some other perks, changing the previous or enhancing the previous visa applications for wealthy individuals. And even though this isn't crypto related, that other article was talking about the UAE looking at Bitcoin as a digital commodity as well. And I think it was David Sachs was meeting with UAE individuals, and they wanted to start utilizing it the same way and purchasing it. And basically, the green light was given to them after the US was able to make their announcement to state that they were going to have a Bitcoin strategic reserve. So that is trillions of dollars across huge nation states that will be rolling into Bitcoin at some stage. It's not like overnight, but just the simple fact that these countries are marching in step with the same fundamental ideologies about Bitcoin being digital gold and a decentralized commodity, global commodity that anyone can own. The race is on, and you're going to be left behind if you do not think that now is a great time to be accumulating Bitcoin. And then this is the other thing about US stablecoin bill, the Genius Act. What did that stand for again? Guiding and establishing national innovations for US stablecoins. So this has not been approved, but guarantees something like this. If it's not this, then a Toomey bill or whatever, but something that will allow any kind of stable coin that is backed by US treasuries to be approved, because that hedges the fundamental ideas of what Donald Trump wants to have the strategic reserve of the US dollar to still be dominant. And by being able to basically support, or how would you say, fund that treasury debt on a much more global scale to the middle class and lower class, because it's like, hey, you get access to crypto and to stable coins, and every dollar that rolls in from those individuals that want those stable coins, that is millions, billions, and even trillions of dollars that go to support the US dollar as the global reserve currency. So instead of looking at nation states trying to buy the debt, it's like you're now able to fund that onto the average individual. And there are some really good yield rates on stable coins. So definitely better than a typical savings account. So like out here in Cambodia, if you do like a fixed deposit, a CD basically, you can get up to about 6% in the local currency. And on stable coins, you can get about that same 6% without locking it up on some centralized exchanges in a dollar. So that definitely adds like a use case and global adoption for stable coins. And again, something like this will indeed be passed. I don't know when, but definitely sooner rather than later. And yeah, this was just the article talking about the strategic Bitcoin reserve and the crypto asset stockpile. So that is two unique different things. One is to hold the Bitcoin that we have, the roughly 200,000. They got to audit that first and see what it is that we actually have, and to come up with a budget neutral strategy to purchase more. Then the second is a crypto asset stockpile. So the assets they have attained, confiscated the same way Bitcoin. I don't know what they are, but I know at least Ethereum is one of them. Then they will continue to hold those, but those they're allowed to sell and accumulate however they want. And I'm sure some of the US-based cryptos will find their way into that stockpile. You can think of it as lobbying in the US, where big farm, big tech, big ag, whoever, put money into the different government areas to get their voices and legislation passed. This will be the same way. It's like, hey, we're going to donate, however much of XRP, of Solana, of Cardano, of HBAR, whatever. They're going to donate those assets to the government, to the stockpile, And then that becomes kind of a signal to others to be like, hey, the US government has stockpiling our assets. It's the exact same way that SHIB was kicked off, and some other meme tokens where someone makes it and then they send a bunch of it to a known figure to say, hey, this person has this crypto in their wallet. But in this case, it'll actually be more legit. So these are all just bullish momentum things that are lined up. Like this year, we are only less than 100 days into this year, and this is just so much momentum and catalyst that it's just like, how can you still be bearish? 80K is a opportunity. It may not feel like it because you might have missed 50K and 40K last cycle, but this here just shows the inflows for the last year and some change. So the green is ETF inflow. So it was approved in January of last year, and you can see how much volume and inflows we had and very little outflows for pretty much the entire 2024 calendar year. And then we just had a bunch of outflows starting at the beginning of this year, which is why Bitcoin, not why, but one of the reasons Bitcoin started to drop after it got up. So you look at this, come back here, you see that Bitcoin purchase price when the ETFs launched was 40K, and it shot up to about 60K. And then it bounced in that 60K, we'll call it 55 to 70K range for pretty much the whole year. So that means the average ETF investor last year got Bitcoin around $50,000. Well, naturally, once it hit 100, there was some sell pressure. 100 is a psychological level, but not to mention that a lot of people acquired it at half that price. But now, over time, there's been more inflows now. When you look at this volume literally here in November, and you add up this volume from November to January, I didn't add it up, but you can just look at the chart and see how high these green candles are. Like this amount of volume could literally make up kind of this dead area for about 6 months, all in the 2-month time span at a much higher Bitcoin price. So what does that mean? Well, that means these people have been acquiring Bitcoin at around an average price of 70 to 80K. Well, where are we at right now? We're sitting at about 84K, 80K. So I'm not saying that that's the bottom. There are definitely still some people here that are probably in profits, but as a whole, it's just a easier way to see that momentum is shifting. And that ties into the M2 chart again I showed you guys. Now, M2 always goes up, but after a big drawdown, then that's when Bitcoin can rally and go back up. And remember, there's a 10 to 12 week lag. And then we come over to the Bitcoin moving average price. You see that the 200-day moving average is 84,000. Like we are almost right there at that current price. The 50-day is 91,000. The current price is 86. So everything is kind of consolidating into this area, filling the gap on that chart that I showed you guys before from Bitcoin between 70 to 85K, call it 70 to 90. And into all this legislation, like everything just to me points to a super bullish end of second quarter and then third and fourth quarter. So I personally will continue to stack sats. I'm looking at a delta neutral kind of strategy of trying to leverage Bitcoin and use a loan against Bitcoin to fund my monthly expenses. So that is the way the wealthy has done, but they typically get 0% interest loans and they're taking out a much larger amount. But I want to create something and I want to share that with you guys to see how the maths up, to see if that can be done on a smaller scale. So stay tuned for that. All right, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.